The sound of the explosion, the calls for help.
Explosion at Manchester Arena!
Explosion at Manchester Arena?
Yes!
The MES?
The panic and confusion. What should have followed was, in the words of the chairman of the public inquiry, an effective, coordinated, multi-agency response. That, he said, is not what happened.
We heard heartbreaking evidence of the injured and the rescuers who were in the city room, hearing the sirens of ambulances, knowing paramedics were close by, expecting their imminent arrival, only for them not to arrive.
Those delays proved fatal to John Atkinson. His family now know he would probably have survived with proper treatment.
As we know from witnesses, John kept asking if he was going to die. John must have known that he was dying, and the pain that causes us to say that is too great to put into words.
But the family of the youngest victim, 8-year-old Safi Rose Roussos, filmed here on that night, disagreed with the finding that earlier treatment wouldn't have saved her.
She died through the loss of blood and her injuries, of course, but her cause of death was loss of blood. Now, if you leave a person that's bleeding and don't give them the immediate medical attention that they require, then of course they're going to die. She's a fighter, like her mum. She would fight to the end.
And again!
For the family of Martin Hett, the hope is that the inquiry's recommendations will make a difference.
I don't want any of them to have died for nothing. What's really reassuring is that Sir John is actually going to follow up some of these things to make sure they are actually carried out, and that is reassuring.
The emergency services came to repeat their apologies for a catalogue of mistakes. They say changes have been made.
If this were to happen again tomorrow, how do you reassure the public that some of these mistakes, all of these mistakes, wouldn't be made again?
God forbid we should have to do this again. That some of the things that went wrong, almost as a domino from not getting it right at the outset, would just not happen again.
Even though the threat level was very high in May 2017, the chairman said no one in authority really thought it could happen to them. They were wrong, and 5 years on, so many are still paying the price. Greg Milam, Sky News, Manchester.